Good afternoon. This is a special edition of Political Paula because I am mad as hell right now. And I think when you hear what is going on, you will be mad as hell too, and you should be, especially if you happen to be a customer of the health insurance company Capital Blue Cross Keystone Health Plan Central, which for 2 years my husband has had them as his insurance company. As a self-employed person, they were his only choice. He's been paying them $600 a month for 2 years. Guess how much they've paid out in medical expenses for my husband? Yeah, you got it. Zero. He hasn't even been to the doctor for a well visit in 2 years. They've paid nothing. He's paid $600 a month. Now, recently my husband was offered an excellent job opportunity with actual real health insurance, paid for by his employer. And that health insurance starts on April the 2nd, which is Monday. Because of the way Capital Blue Cross bills, they've already billed my husband $600 on his credit card for the month of April. So like any other business, we're going to talk about prorating today. It's a term that most companies use. Your cable company uses it, your phone company uses it, your internet company uses it. The one person who obviously never got the definition of prorating was Capital Blue Cross. You see, my husband called them and he said, look, I don't want to be without health insurance, but technically I need to cancel Capital Blue Cross as of April the 2nd. And do you know what the chick on the other end of the line, Felicia, said to him? Well, you have two choices, sir. You can either cancel your coverage as of March 31st, and we will refund your $600, or you can keep your coverage for 1 day, and we'll keep your $600. My husband was like, excuse me? I was here. I heard the conversation. My husband said, so wait a minute. You're going to charge me $600 for 1 day of health insurance. You want me to pay you $600 when, first of all, here's the best part. Capital Blue Cross knows now he's got another insurance company. A better one, by the way, with a lower deductible. And by the way, I get to be on this new insurance company too, where I wouldn't even be on Capital Blue Cross. I refused them because they were jacking me just because I am a healthy 53-year-old woman who smokes and has never had one ill doctor visit in my entire life except once in 1990 when I had an ectopic pregnancy. And by the way, I wasn't even smoking back then. Anyway, I refused Capital Blue Cross's $750 a month coverage because I felt I was being discriminated against for using a legal product that has caused me no health issues. My husband, of course, as the breadwinner of our family, has to be covered. So he took their $600 a month, $7,500 a year deductible policy, which of course he didn't use. And now when he says, guess what? I'm done. I've got a new job. I've got new health care. They tell him, we're not giving you your money back unless you go for an entire day without health insurance. Now, I am asking any viewer out there, I already called a lawyer. She didn't know. Is this even legal? I've been trying to find out and I can't. It doesn't sound legal to me that a health insurance company can force an American citizen to be lapsing in health insurance coverage even for 24 hours. And it doesn't sound legal to me that these people can even think for 5 minutes that 1 day of their coverage is worth $600 of our money. But that's what they said to him. And of course, he just said, guess what? You've been screwing me for 2 years. I bought a policy because I wanted to be covered for the catastrophe, which didn't happen, thank God. But that's all you were going to ever pay for in the first place, and you're probably going to fight me on that. Because when you need these insurance companies, they find a way to not pay. He said, every other company I've ever dealt with, when I've changed companies, they prorate my bill. You're not willing to do that. You want my $600 for one day. He's like, bye, Felicia. And it is funny because the girl's name was actually Felicia. And I have been trying to research it, and I can't find anything. But this doesn't sound legal to me. It doesn't sound legal to me that a health insurance company can force somebody to be uninsured for 24 hours simply because they refuse to prorate the bill. And it's not even hard math. I mean, I could probably do the math. I'm not going to because that's not my job. I have spent enough of my lifetime dealing with insurance companies and their rules and their loopholes and their overpricing and all the crap that they do. You know, you see these commercials on TV and you see these health insurance companies saying how much they love you, and they'll buy a Down syndrome little girl a computer so she can order sausage pancakes and juice orange in a restaurant. But they won't pay for a cancer patient to get nausea helping drugs. That's outside the scope of their prescription drugs. You got to pay for that on your own, $1,500 a month. They'll pay for the chemo that makes you sick and miserable, but they won't pay for the drug that makes you feel better while you're getting cancer treatment. They don't care about you. You're not in good hands. All these commercials, they don't give a crap about you. Oh, they'll pay for you to get a 16-foot snake shoved up your ass every 10 years. They'll pay for you to get a pap smear and a mammogram. But God forbid there's something wrong with you. Then it's all on you. Then they start nickel and diming you everywhere. Well, that's not really part of the deductible. Well, that's co-insurance. That's a copay. That's this. That's that. And the only reason, by the way, that health insurance companies even pay for your colonoscopies and your pap smears and your prostate exams is because Obama told them they had to. Otherwise, you'd still be paying out of pocket like I did all of my adult life. I always paid for my pap smear out of my pocket. It went toward the deductible that I was never going to meet unless I got catastrophically ill. You know why we have GoFundMe? Do you know why an 18-year-old kid who's in a car accident and is paralyzed for the rest of his life needs a GoFundMe account? Because insurance companies like Capital Blue Cross and all the other ones refuse to actually do their bloody jobs, which is paying medical bills. And even when they don't pay one medical bill, they still try to screw the customer, like Capital Blue Cross has done to my husband by saying, guess what? Two choices, sir. You either give us $600 and we keep it, and you get 1 day of coverage if you get hurt on Easter Sunday, the Sunday that celebrates the resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ, and they're telling my husband he can just go uninsured that day. Good luck to you, sir. Or you can let us keep your $600 and we'll take care of you if something happens to you on Sunday. Can you imagine the anger that is in this house right now, that I am feeling right now, having been screwed by fucking health insurance companies my entire life? By medical people who say, you've got HPV, you need this and you need that, and I didn't have HPV. I have been screwed by these kind of people my entire adult life. My mother was killed by bad doctor. My sister almost died because a doctor wanted the insurance perks for prescribing an acid reflux medicine when she had a collapsed gallbladder. It's all about insurance, 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 insurance. No one wants to give a woman a hysterectomy until she's on death's door. Insurance doesn't want to pay for that. They'd rather pay for the other little Band-Aid procedures. These insurance companies are going overboard. And this one, believe me, I'm not letting this go. I am going to find out. So if any of you out there have information that you know for a fact that what Capital Blue Cross Keystone Health Plan here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania is doing right now, trying to jack my husband for $600 for 24 hours of health insurance. If any of you know for a fact that that is illegal, please let me know. Because this Felicia chick, she didn't care and she didn't know. And she's just the person who answers the phone. I want to talk to a real manager. I want to talk to someone in charge. Because this isn't right. This isn't right. If I have car insurance with Progressive and all of a sudden Geico offers me a better price, I can go to Progressive and they will prorate my bill. I'm going to say I'm starting Geico on April 15th and Progressive will refund me my money that I paid for the month of April. Not so with Capital Blue Cross, Keystone. No. Once they get your money, they want to keep it. And you know what the worst part of this is? Is this fucking Blue Cross Blue Shield company. Yeah, I'm dropping the F-bombs today, and believe me, I'd like to drop a lot more. And I probably will later. This company knows damn well right that the chances of them keeping my husband $600 and them actually paying 1 penny toward a medical expense for him is just as rare as it would have been when they first took him on as a customer. If they had bothered to know that he hasn't been to a doctor for an ill visit, he doesn't go to the doctor, he doesn't have any chronic conditions, he doesn't even smoke cigarettes. They were happy to take his money, and now they're happy to keep it. And they won't even cover him for 24 hours. Do the math. What is 600 divided by 29? And they can't even do that. That's how greedy and disrespectful, and the fact that they don't care. That's how these companies work. So any of you out there who can help me right now, because I'm going to tell you what. My husband had plans this weekend. He was actually going to drive down to the Bay House and do some work. Well, I'll tell you what he's not going to do. He's going to drive down there, but he's certainly not going to be driving on Sunday because he's not going to have health insurance. Sunday, my husband, I have just told him, is not allowed to leave this house for any reason. If my husband cuts himself, I will stitch up his cut myself in my kitchen because he has no health insurance, thanks to Blue Cross, Capital Blue Cross. Capital Blue Cross, remember the name, Capital Blue Cross, Keystone Health Plan, Central, Keystone Health Plan Central. They don't care about your health. They don't care about taking care of you. They just care about taking your money, knowing they're never going to have to pay for it. Why do you think they want to keep my husband $600? It's the easiest $600 they've ever gotten. Because they are guaranteed that starting April 2nd, my husband will never file a claim with them. That's why they want his $600, because they know he's never going to need it. He's never going to file a claim. And he's been doing this for 2 years and he never filed a claim. So they're just saying, okay, great. I can't believe that with this new age of how we are supposed to have rules for health insurance companies, that any of what they're doing is legal. That they can force somebody, especially when I thought it was illegal to let your health insurance lapse anyway. Now remember, my husband didn't let his health insurance lapse. Capital Blue Cross, Keystone, forced him to go 24 hours without health insurance. They're forcing him to do this because who of you would pay $600 for 24 hours of health insurance that most likely you won't use? Now see, I believe in Murphy's Law, so I'm really terrified. I'm not going to sleep real good. I'm not going to be in a good mood on Sunday because I'm going to be terrified. God forbid, this is the day something happens to my husband and he has no health insurance. The one day of his entire adult life he has no health insurance. Something's going to happen. Then what the fuck do? I guess I go open a GoFundMe account. Thanks to Capital Blue Cross. Capital Blue Cross Health Plan. Keystone Central. Remember that name, and I'm going to make sure it's all over my page too. I'm going to make sure these people answer for the way they treat their customers. There are customers who have paid loyally every single month for years and years and years. Never cost them a penny. And when they say, you know what, I got a new job, I've got good health care coming to me, I just need one more day of coverage, and they say, bye, Felicia. We're done. Or you can pay us for one day what you normally pay for an entire month. If any of you think this is cool, please don't bother commenting. But if any of you out there know something about this, especially anybody with a legal mind who can ask me, I've already called a lawyer, and because she's not a health insurance, she's not that kind of a lawyer, she really didn't know. But if you know and you can help me out, believe me, because I'll tell you this, if something happens to my husband on Sunday, somebody's getting sued. And I have a funny feeling it's going to be Capital Blue Cross. So please, if you know anything about this, if you can send me in the right direction, because I am not going to let this go. I'm going to keep talking about it and talking about it and talking about it. Because once again, health insurance companies are the only companies that can take your money and then not pay you for what you thought you paid for. That's their job, is to not do their job of paying your medical bills. They get out of it any way they can. And now we find out that even when you say, I'm leaving, I'm not going to be your customer anymore, they still want to jack you for a month of a service that they know you will never, ever use. Simply because you have to pay the whole month. They don't prorate like every other business in the world. We need to stop allowing health insurance companies to react and to conduct business differently than every other respectable company in this country and in the world, by the way. We need to stop them. And Obamacare did not go far enough, in my opinion. Yeah, they got to cover pre-existing conditions, and that actually hurt me and my husband, because now we're paying for other people's pre-existing conditions instead of the health insurance companies doing their job and paying for them. And now we have this situation. So please, if any of you know anything about this, if you have experience with it, please share your stories here. I'm not letting this go. I am actually scrapping some shows until I get some answers on this, because this is very important. And I want to remind you of why GoFundMe is so important. My cousin Ryan Stallings was in a severe car accident 2 weeks ago, and he is now in rehab learning his new normal. He is paralyzed. He will probably be paralyzed the rest of his life, although, God willing, with new innovations and new research being done every day on spinal cord injuries, there is a chance. But he's 18 years old. He's a hard worker. He's a welder. He went to school for welding. He's not looking for a hand out. He's looking for a hand up. So please, if you have some money you can spare, please go to the GoFundMe page. It is called Ryan Stallings Recovery. It is something worth donating your money to, because just like all of us out here at the mercy of insurance companies, Ryan is now the most vulnerable because he cannot work, and we don't know when he'll be able to work again, but he wants to return to work. But in order to do that, he needs a lot of help. And we all know the insurance companies ain't going to be giving it. So don't forget Ryan. It's called Ryan Stallings Recovery. He's got a Facebook page on Facebook, and his GoFundMe account is also up there, and the link is on my Facebook page as well. So look, God bless you all, and look, I'm just asking for help here. I certainly didn't expect this. You know, Jason and I are so looking forward to our new adventure with his new job, with a wonderful company, and with all the wonderful benefits that we're going to receive by being part of this great company. But of course, there's this glitch now in the road, because there always is, and it's really making me angry. And you guys all know what happens when I get angry. I do a show. Political Paula, out.